One, like, there's two more hits, two more hits. Yep, that's me. Finally beating Shadow of the Colossus after 19 whole years. Me in this game, you know, we had a bit of a rocky relationship, but I will say, at the end of the day, I enjoyed it thoroughly. There were ups and there were downs, but you know what? That's how it is with any video game, let's be honest. What is the point of this video, you may be asking? I don't know. You know, I didn't have anything to upload, and Until Dawn, the remake, comes out on October 4th. So I'm just trying to put in some filler in between today and that day. But this video is going to basically be a review, but not really. It's just going to be me explaining my thoughts on the game and my time with it. What I liked and what I didn't like, simple as that. It's not scripted. It's not a critique or saying how they could have done things better, blah, blah, blah. But I will try to make it, you know, kind of more professional than just, you know, a Let's Play episode. But yeah, let's get right into it. So first things, I'm going to start off with the bad, or the things I didn't like. I don't like calling it bad because that implies like I know better. I feel like I know better than the developers, but I really don't. These are just some things I didn't like, or things I guess that now that I know better weren't explained to me very well while playing through the game. So first things first, the controls would sometimes feel a little bit clunky. What do I mean by that? So there were times where I would tilt my analog stick over to the left just a tiny bit with when I was on the horse, and my horse would just like do a wide turn and I'd just be like, what the heck? And there were times where I was telling my horse to sprint and my horse would legitimately just not sprint. I think there was a time when I was fighting a Colossus. It was the one in the sand. I think it was called Thurge. I don't remember which number it was, but that fight was great, by the way. He literally stood there. I was holding this triangle button, which is, I'm assuming, how you get your horse to sprint, but I was holding the triangle button to get him to sprint, and he legitimately would not sprint, and it got me killed, and that was so frustrating. There were also times where, you know, I'd be trying to climb, like there were some Colossi that you had to climb, and they had different points that you jump to grab to. And there were points where I would jump, and my character would I'd see my character grab onto that ledge, and then for some reason he would glitch down and fall back down to the to the ledge I was previously on, which is a minor thing. It didn't really happen too much, but when it did happen, it was very, very annoying. Another thing that I didn't like in terms of controls was like, so when you get hit in this game, your character takes a nap. I think that's the best way to explain it. Your character decides to take a nap. Now at the time, I just thought this was like them trying to portray that your character was like this weak person fighting these Colossus that were like way stronger than him and overcoming the odds or something. But it was so annoying because there were just some fights where I was just like, get up, and then your character would get up after like 10 seconds of sitting on the ground, and then you would just get hit again and it would turn into some kind of stun lock. And bro, I have to tell you, when it did happen that way, I was so frustrated. Only now do I know that apparently if you mash buttons, you can actually get up quicker. Which, I mean, man, I don't know how I was supposed to know that, but I also wish I just did a little bit more research and just like searched it up, because if that would have saved me so much of a headache. But you know, it is what it is. I also thought that some Colossi fights were like basically the Colossi fights leaned and like heavily relied on you being able to figure out an obscure fight on your own, like the gimmick to each Colossi. And for the most part, it was fun. And most part, you just had to do a little bit of critical thinking and you could figure it out. But there were like 2 fights specifically where I just could not get a hand on what I was supposed to do, and it just ruined the experience. Not the whole game experience, but just that one fight. For example, I was fighting the bison. I don't know which one it was, but it was like the one where you have to like, it hits the fire torch and then the torch falls down, and then you have to wave the torch in front of it. You guys know what I mean if you've played it already. But like, so I had a feeling you had to use the torches or the light, like the braziers, but I didn't know a torch fell down when he hit it. I know I got a special cutscene, but I didn't know what to do. I thought he just keeps ramming it and then it falls down. But no, a torch fell down. I didn't even see the torch, which is honestly my fault. But the thing is, when I figured out that the torch was there, I didn't even realize how to pick up an item. I realized at that moment, I never learned how to pick up an item in this game. And I think I spent like 5 minutes trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to do to figure, like I was just hitting every button. I'm like, what do I do? How do I pick up an item? And it turns out you have to hold R2. And and the only reason I figured that out was because I had to search up a guide on how to beat this boss first of all. And in the comments, it said to pick up an item, you hold R2. And I was just like, bro, I was so clocked out of that fight at that point. But to be fair, it didn't happen often. It honestly only happened in 2 fights. That fight and the 15 Colossi fight. But like, I seriously don't think that was that big of a deal. Like I said, I think the bad that this game has isn't even that bad for the most part. Like, there are games that do things way worse and that piss me off so much more. But anyway, I digress. That's honestly all I had for the bad. Let's talk about what I really did enjoy about this game. So first off, let's just talk about the music. You guys probably been, I'm hoping that I'm putting the music of Shadow of the Colossi into the background of this video and you're listening to it, but I thought the music from like the slow melody you get in the beginning of the game to the insane fight like music you get when you're fighting the Colossi themselves, I thought that was stellar. I thought that was amazing and I loved every bit of music. I know like sometimes in the last video I would replace the music, but it wasn't because I thought it was bad. I just wanted to make the last video a bit more like interesting, so I just thought adding some cool music was okay, but sorry if it wasn't. I still like the music though. Also, I want to say I felt like climbing the Colossi, like the whole Colossus fights themselves were just very well done. I felt like every Colossus gimmick was, almost every Colossus gimmick was very, like they were hard to figure out at first, but then you would click and you'd be like, oh, that makes so much sense. And it just felt like sometimes I need a hint from the game, but for the most part I'd be able to figure it out on my own. And it just felt so good, you know? Like, I think they did a great job with that. And honestly, I would go through every single Colossus fight and go through how the fight went for me, but I'm gonna be honest, I just kind of want you guys to watch the Let's Play, so please go and do that. But yeah, I'll say right here now though, I thought the Colossus fights themselves were absolutely great. Also, I want to say that even though this game came out in 2005, I'm playing the remake when I'm saying this, I thought this game looked great. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's a crime that this game doesn't have a fully fledged photo mode. You know, I would have, like, there were moments like there's this bridge you cross to get to the other half of this world, and the camera just zooms out while you're crossing this bridge, and I'm thinking to myself, I would love to take a photo mode picture, like maybe adjust the contrast, make the brighter, like do something with photo mode to make it take a photo here, but I couldn't. And I'm just like, man, this game, for a game that came out in 2005 and is remade now only in 2018, this game, it looks phenomenal. Like, seriously, straight up. Another thing, and honestly the final thing that I really did enjoy about this game was story. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really understand the story. You know, from what I understood, you're a character named Wanderer who is trying to bring this girl back to life, and you have to kill these Colossi. But by the end, you realize that the person, because you were told by a voice to kill these Colossi, the voice that was telling you to do it was actually tricking you the entire time and wanting to be released. And so by the end of it, what happens is your hero doesn't even like get to see her again, but she comes back alive. I think like it's weird because he gets turned into a baby, so I was confused by that. But my point I'm trying to make is that I thought the story was vague, but I'm no stranger to vague storytelling. You know, I loved Elden Ring. I played Elden Ring. I loved it. You know, and Elden Ring doesn't just flat out give you a story. You know, you have to figure it out, put the pieces together, etc., etc. I felt like the mystery of this world only enhanced my desire to learn about it. You know, like I finished the game, put it away, and the first thing I did was search up on YouTube Shadow of the Colossus lore. And it sucks because there really isn't much to go on, even off of YouTube. Like, basically what the YouTubers are telling you is pretty much what you know. I would have loved if there was some kind of like lore book in the game that told you some kind of lore about each Colossi you were fighting, about the characters, etc, etc. But you know what? It is what it is. You know, like some games just want to keep everything as a mystery, and that's fine, you know? Not everything needs to be told and just given to you on a silver platter like that. But anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say. This probably isn't a very long video, and I honestly I didn't have a script, so it kind of felt like I was rambling, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I really did enjoy this game, and honestly, if you guys are watching this, have any recommendations for games that want me to play next, leave them down in the comments below. But yeah, until next time, take it easy.